to the hockey show. I'm the Trev. It's too sweet. Anyway, continuing on with my favorite player from every team. My favorite player from every team. Today we're landing on Dallas. And I've had Dallas ready for a while. I don't know why I haven't done it yet, but I'm doing it now. But either way, they've got quite a plethora of players past and present to choose from. So let's get on with that. So the history of the Dallas Stars begins in 1993 when they moved from Dallas, or from Minnesota, sorry, to Dallas. Look at me making mistakes already. So, having said that, there will be no Minnesota North Stars spoken of in this video, even though I got to watch a good couple of years of the North Stars growing up. But essentially, since they've been around since 93 in Dallas, I've watched them my entire life. In the 4 times they've been to the Stanley Cup Final, they haven't won it since 1999, last losing it in 2020. But sticking with the formula, I'm going 1 goalie, 2 defensemen, 3 forwards. I don't care if they're left wing, right wing centers, 3 forwards. I think I've narrowed down a pretty good list. Let me know what you think. So starting off in net with Andy Moog. Yeah, I could have put Belfour, I could have put Turco. But for me, growing up in Edmonton and watching the tail end of his career with the Oilers here, he was one of the first goalies I actually watched on TV. So I'm kind of almost drawn to him just by that. But beyond that, the 4 seasons he was there, the Stars made the playoffs 3 of them. And, a lot of people will say playoffs is more than just goaltending. Well, playoffs starts with goaltending. And he kept them in. And I didn't play a lot. But yet I thought he was a good addition to the team when he was there. Starting defense with Darion Hatcher. What's not to like about this guy? He's an absolute beast. He's big. And he was the best thing for their cup run when it happened. Even when they lost the cup in the year after. Just one of the best defensemen that has just been almost overlooked by a lot of people. But his playmaking notwithstanding, the fact that he wasn't afraid to get the hands dirty, wasn't afraid to mix it up, and was just an overall great team player for the Stars, that's why he's here. And then there's Sergey Zubov. What can I say about Zubov? He was one of my favorite defensemen growing up. As good as Hatcher was, Zubov was just as good, if not better on some occasions. He's a solid 200-foot player when you needed him to be, and had no problems keeping the puck out when he had to. So, there's that. Starting the forwards with Tyler Sagan. Yeah, the last couple of years hasn't been his best years, but he's been having his best years since coming over from Boston in 2013. I mean, if this is the prime of his career and the best of it ends here, Dallas had a pretty good run when they had him. And the fact that they were able to take him to the cup once, I mean, he's already got a cup to his name. Long story on that one. For myself, anyway. But overall, a fun player to watch. Him and Ben, one of the best 1-2 combos I've seen. Continuing with Brett Hull. Yeah, he was only there 3 years. But in those 3 years, the Stars went to the cup twice. And in those 3 years, they were always a playoff team. And in those 3 years, you were guaranteed pretty close to 60 points. I think he went over 60 once in his time in Dallas. But 2 seasons at 50 plus. I think they were high 50s. You can't deny that. And yeah, you could take that whole foot in the crease rule and whatever else. But I'm sure even without that, it was always going to be a Stars Cup anyways. My own opinion. And again, another one of those guys that I was a fan of growing up. So it was hard not to put Hull on this list. And we'll end this list properly with Mike Modano. He's the first overall pick that I can remember. So if that gives you any time frame as to how long I've been watching hockey, that should say it all. What's not to like about Modano? I mean, take away from the fact that he spent all but a year of his career with the same organization, counting Minnesota. He had hands of gold. He had feet that just moved. And he was always there for a play or to set the play up. It was just electric watching him. And then the fact that they added in Lettinen when Lettinen came in. They added in Hull when Hull came in. It only made Dallas that much more better and that much more fun to watch. So again, we're ending this list properly. Another one of Chess Hockey Shows. I want to thank you for tuning in. Don't think I don't appreciate the gesture, especially if you've made it to this point. And if you have, please let me know you're here. Give me a thumbs up. If you want, that shiny red button that I always point out every time, you know what to do. You know how it makes you feel. So why not? Socials are in the description down below. So moving forward, I don't know what team I'm going to do next, but I got a couple that are ready to go. So I'll probably tackle them very soon. But either way, in the meantime, in between time, be looking for more videos from Trev. Later.